Newcastle to do? To go there and play lovely football and try and take Arsenal on at their own game when they've got the record they have? They're sitting at the top of the league. Get used to it. More teams are going to do that. More teams will look at what Newcastle tonight and try and do what they do. You can't always be brilliant in every single game. The same thing happened to Newcastle at the weekend with Leeds. You've got to accept, you've got to move on, you take the point. You can't win the game, you don't get beaten. They haven't been beaten tonight, it's been a decent point, very good point from Newcastle. But Newcastle can't turn up there and say we're going to play open, great football and go head to head. Not many will.
No, I think they should have plenty of them. So, I just want to make sure that we're keeping the emotions intact here.
And just on your point with the players, it is the youngest starting 11 on average of any team this season when they get on.
Yeah, and they've had an unbelievable few months. They're at the top of the league, they're there to be shot at. There's going to be a time, I'm sure, in the next few months where it doesn't work for them. Then the test will come. I've been there myself when it's an unusual position. When we were at Blackburn, we'd never been there. Like a lot of these young players have never been there, and it might be a good thing, it might not. But it will be difficult at times to handle over the next few months.
And the next two games in itself, North London derby and Manchester United.
Well, those are the games. The thing is, you have to say, and Newcastle today, Newcastle are up there as one of the form teams.
And City home and away still to play.
Absolutely, City on the way to play as well. And what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that you've got to have a calm. You have to be calm about it because you want to go into these games. The main thing is you want to start like they started in both halves. They went for it, it didn't quite happen. Newcastle.
Out of position, been at left back. Botman at centre half, we said before the game, him and Cher, Trippier at right back. I mean, they're playing against the in-form players in the league, in Odegaard and Saka and Martinelli. Didn't really give them anything tonight.
And they've only lost once, let's not forget, all season as well. And when that 7 minutes was on, you were reminded of the Anfield game as well.
Yeah. I was thinking of that.
But that's an astonishing role of consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, because you've got to build. To be successful, you've got to build from the back. And then you can go and have your flair players and let them do what they have to do. But that base comes from defensively, being tough and resilient and hard to beat with a good goalkeeper when you do get through. Newcastle have got all that now. So, yeah, I mean, the question was asked to Eddie about trying to bring a player or two in January. If they can do that, absolutely they'll do it, to try and add that little bit of flair when the game is like that, when can put someone and say, okay, you need a little bit of magic in forward positions. Because they had to work so hard defensively
Up against. That's like you say, Newcastle are a different proposition now. And teams are going to Newcastle now and they're saying, right, we're coming here for a draw. Yeah. That's what Newcastle came to Arsenal. If they could have broke, I thought they couldn't break on Arsenal as well as that because they were doing so much defending. So they settled for the draw. But they are a different entity now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the recruitment. Get someone like Dan Ashworth there.
Dan Ashworth, yeah.
When you see someone like him go there from Brighton, you can see that the way Brighton have recruited down the years, bring someone like Dan Ashworth in with it to Newcastle because they obviously want to copy that business plan. But obviously they're going to have more money to do it. But you can see what Brighton are doing really works.
But also on the flip side, that's what Arsenal have to now expect. Yeah. Arsenal can't expect everyone to go to the Emirates and turn up and say we're going to try and beat you at football. It's not going to work because most of the time Arsenal will beat them. So they're going to have to accept that teams are going to go there and sit and defend and be resilient and do what Newcastle did tonight.
We've been digging for you, Righty, on the two scandalous penalties that was referring
Must
to.
have been digging hard then.
We'll come up with another example. We think McCarthy.
So many teams now. I'll take that now.
Perfect. You're both friends. Much more to mop up when we come back.